The following is a sponsored program on WBT.
Investment advice provided on the following program is on an individual basis. Listeners should not consider today's discussion as a recommendation for any investment and should carefully evaluate before investing. This is Your Real Estate Today on News Talk 1110 WBT.
Hello and welcome, friends, to the show Your Real Estate Today. We are so glad that you're with us. Happy Saturday afternoon. We hope that you are enjoying yourself. You're out and about today, and just because up until today, real estate agents were not essential, which we now are, we know you all are essential. And we've always known that. There have been so many jokes going on about being non-essential, but you can tap your toe across the county line and be somebody. So, yay! We're essential again. So, life has gotten back to normal. Today, back with us is Will, the solar guy. Hey, Will, how you doing, my friend? Good to have you back.
Thanks, Paul. It's great to be back. I'm so excited. Yeah, what a wonderful Saturday it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So remember, folks, if you are listening to us, you can listen here, of course, on 1110 a.m., 99.3 FM, radio.com, under the WBT app. And then also, you can watch us online. We are recording this as a Zoom call today, and it will be available to view on all of our YouTube channels. So if you go out and search the Jamison Realty channel, you will find us, and you will see Will and I. He's at the beach, according to his background. I'm here in the studio. But we've got lots to talk about and lots to share today. And so let me start out, though, like I always do. Again, glad that we're now essential. So if you're out there and you're ready to sell or buy, let's go. Because what that means is that if you're not a vacant home, you can now be shown. And obviously, we still want to follow different safety protocols to protect people. We want to make sure that if we touch doorknobs, we wipe them down and prepare them. And if and we stay socially distant from each other and wear a mask and do the things that we can do to protect others. But we're ready to go. The demand in this market, I know, will be unleashed here shortly as we evolve and begin to release the hounds, as they say, into the real estate market. If you don't feel safe showing your house, then don't. We can find still virtual solutions in order to get that done, and we're doing that on a regular basis. We're using video tours and other forms to make you comfortable so that you can, if you're interested in selling your home, do it without putting anybody at risk. So to recap, home buying was up 27% in January and February from last year at the same time. All right? Since the market has rebounded after the bottom on March 23rd, the activity started dropping. It was down about 26% in early April, but it's picking back up. I believe that the low rates and the 20% rebound of the stock market has put some optimism back into the market. You know, don't quote me on the 20% rebound of the stock market. It changes every day. So realize that's going to change on an ongoing basis. But there's optimism coming back. And I think people are finally saying, as you can hear around the country, all right, let's get going. Let's get back to work. Let's get things going. So, with fewer homes available at the end of March, pending sales were down 49%. But hey, what would you expect? When inventory is down 19%, pending sales are going to be down. Less houses equals less sales. So, again, things are still getting done and there's pent-up demand. But if there's less houses to sell, the buyers are probably going to wait until they have more options, all right? Many of the sellers, as we talked about last week, they're on the wait and see. Things change daily, right? Moment by moment. So give us a call. Let's talk about what's really going on. Let's talk about the marketability, your house, the market sector, and so on. So here are some steps that I think sellers need to take right now. All right, here are some steps I think if you're thinking about selling, and I'm going to do buyers too, should take right now. So I know you're taking notes, Will. So just so you know, I know you're taking notes. All right. First, call me. That's pretty easy. 846-DONE, 846-3663, and let's develop a plan. Talked on the way here to a seller that's got a great house that's getting ready to come out into the marketplace. We've been waiting. Now that we are essential, and the house can be showed under more normal conditions, which is going to be their choice. We've developed a plan. We're working back from the timing. We're getting the videos done. We're getting the professional photography done. We're ready to go. Also, get the outdoor flowers in the pots. Power wash. Make the outside really beautiful. The garden stores are open. They're essential. Why not go, get you some good landscaping, and make sure that if somebody is interested in your house, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you're out on the market right now, or you've got the for sale sign in your yard, no matter what county you're in, people are getting in the car and they're driving by. So that first impression, remember we've had this discussion before, the mailbox. Make sure your mailbox looks like it's brand new right out of the box. Pretty flowers around it. That is a big impression. Your front yard cut clean, nice mulch, some flowers in some pots to put some color out there. You can do that. That is not stopped from anybody, and you don't have to wear a mask to do it unless you're doing it with a Siamese twin. It's an option for you to get out there and pretty up your yard. Also, Preston Sandlin Home Inspection Carolina. Call them and get your pre-inspection done for your house. Go ahead, have them come, do a home inspection for if you've got an older home and haven't been in the crawl space in like ever, or have some things that you want to get done and have a list so that you can get ready. Get that pre-inspection done. This is the time to do it. Okay, here's another. Sweat the small stuff. What do you mean? What I mean by that? The book says don't sweat the small stuff. Well, I'm telling you, sweat the small stuff. I'm telling you to go around to your trim and dust it. Make sure your trim looks really good, or if it needs a fresh coat of paint. Look at the small little details. You know that place in the wall. You know the one I'm talking about. Everybody's got one. Fix it. Fix those little things that need to be done. That bathroom fixture that's at a 45-degree angle, fix it. All of the things that are in little details make a difference, especially within the first 15 seconds of the experience of walking into the home. Because you only have one chance to make a first impression. So sweat the small stuff, the little stuff. Take that picture down of Aunt Bertha that's at the entryway. We all love Aunt Bertha, but she isn't going to sell your home for you. Put up a mirror or put up something in the foyer. Get some nice greenery out there and get the outside looking good. All right? Get the marketing ready, right? Video tours, photos, measurements, staging plan. Get on that right away. Set a date, either to do a traditional open house or a virtual one. What did you just say, Paul? A virtual open house? Yes, you can do a virtual open house. And they're successful, and you can invite people to it through internet marketing. It's a great way to do that. Promote the listing. Get your good to know put together. Am I out of time for the first segment already? TJ, what the heck? All right. Well, we're going to come back. I'll finish my seller, and then I'll go into my buyer. and then how I see the opportunities coming with you after the break. But first, after the break, Will Albaugh with Sunpro Solar, Will the Solar Guy, is going to give us some insight on the solar business. We'll be right back to Show Your Real Estate Today. My name's Paul Jamison. I'm your host with the Jamison Companies here on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT. Stay with us. Welcome back, friends. The show, easy for you to say. The Show Your Real Estate Today. Hey, it's Paul Jamison, your host with the Jamison family of companies. That's Realty, Property Management, and Property Investment here with Will Albaugh, the solar guy with Sunpro Solar. Will, how are you, my man?
I'm just better than I couldn't be any better is what I'm saying.
That's
right
wonderful.
So
That's wonderful. You're listening to us on 1110 AM, 99.3 FM, radio.com, or you can watch us in a podcast on the Jamison YouTube channel and see our images and see Bill is sitting at the beach, so that music was quite comfortable in his Zoom background. So, Will has been an old friend of mine, and he's a part of Sunpro Solar, the fastest growing solar provider in the country. He lives here in Charlotte with his wife Molly, who is a saint, and together they have 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 8 of the 9 who are girls. Now, I didn't know that.
yeah, buddy, it's if you ever heard a bunch of screaming little girls, you need earplugs for it. I'll tell you that much.
Whew.
But what a joy!
9 grandchildren, 8 of whom are
I
girls.
know.
Wow.
I know. I love it.
A longtime friend, Will, and he's a fellow pilot, and he's an enthusiast over energy and has been just a fabulous guy and runs a really, really good and tight business. And he loves alternative energy and been working through it over the last 20 years. So let's talk a little bit about federal tax credits. You hear a lot of that. I understand that the federal tax credit is in place and it goes down 5% a year or something like that until it's gone. Is that what's going on with these solar tax credits, or did they keep them in place?
Well, Paul, it's a highly political thing, which we won't go into, but it started out several years ago as being 36%, and it had a step down to where in the year 2020 it's 26%. Next year it goes to 22%, and then it's supposedly phased out the following year. But I got to tell you, there's nobody in the industry that I've talked to that isn't thinking that they're going to renew this, what they call the ITC credit, that the House and Senate's going to renew it. But for right now, sitting in 2020, it's 26%. And I also tell you, one of the biggest questions I get is, what does that mean to the homeowner? And that's cash money. That's a check from the federal government. They're going to.
So you don't have to wait to file your taxes to get that check.
Well, yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do, but when a customer goes solar, we give them something that they have. We give them a piece of paper that they have to give to their accountant.
Okay.
And they file their taxes. They get up to 5 years to get all that money. So 26% of their solar system is paid for by the federal government.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I tell what I tell people all the time is solar is like a 401k, except you have access to the cash and you realize gains right away, and your return on investment is fixed; it doesn't go down.
Yeah,
someone else. But the only other difference is someone else is paying for the whole thing.
Yeah, what I would assume, too, as energy rates goes up, your return on investment goes up. Is that a fair assumption?
No, you're right on target, Paul. I mean, in the last 15 years, energy rates have gone up 67%. Think about
Oh, my gosh, that makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
But you know why people don't know it? It's because of what I call the fog in the hot water theory.
Okay, lay it on me.
If you throw a frog in hot boiling water, he'll jump out and save his life.
Yeah.
If you take cold water, put the frog in it, he's happy, and you can slowly turn up the heat until he dies.
Yeah.
It's a sad story, but that's what's happening to us with electricity.
Yeah.
Because what do? They make it convenient for you, Paul, so so that you can automatically draft your electric bill out of your bank account every month, and you never feel it going up. And one of the reasons you never feel it going up is because, first of all, it fluctuates. You got a $150 bill in January, you got a $250 bill in the summer. You just know it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And by the way, you only got two choices anyway. Either go stay with your electric company or go solar. It's your only two choices. So most people, they just pay it.
Yeah.
And it keeps going up. And Duke Energy has already announced 6% increase coming this September.
A 6% increase?
Yeah,
Really?
6%.
Oh my
They
gosh.
just slide it in, and people are too busy at the swimming pool or going to work or doing whatever they want to do. They don't notice those things.
Yeah. Well, they're not at the swimming pool right now, but
No, well, unless they got one in their backyard, right?
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, Will, that you talk about this subject. So I want to put a little bit of personal intervention into this thing. So when Will and I started talking about this, he said to me, Paul, this is the coolest thing going. You really need to learn more about this, and the best way for you to do that is to go out and get a national designation called a green designation. And I thought to myself, no problem. That's easy. I can do this. Yeah, okay, so let me back into my answer. So, do I have the green designation? Yes. Was it easy? No. It was not easy, Bill. Will.
No.
The solar guy. So he you got to do this. So
you have to. I mean,
12 modules, 24 small tests, 12 tests at the end of each module, and 2 final exams. Later, I have the green designation. Daggone it. Will.
And you're the only realtor in North Carolina, only realtor in Mecklenburg County that has it.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
I see why.
Because it's not easy.
Oh, my gosh. But I learned a lot. And I learned a lot about what he's talking about around, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the show. So TJ's in the studio with us today also. Y'all can't see him, but he handles a lot of the big name shows in here. He just stuck with me because no one else would do it. He has, I'm betting, and I'm going to talk to him at the break and find out and put him on the spot, and I may put him on with us. He has energy efficient features in his home and doesn't even know it. So TJ, who has his COVID beard going, could be living in an energy efficient home and not even know it. And I think what's interesting, Will, about what you do and what we're going to talk about with you today is that there's so much education that needs to happen when you sit down with somebody for the very first time. They got to be shocked with what they didn't know that they didn't know.
Yes, every time.
Yeah, because when you sat down and you started talking to me about the payback of solar, my first question was the HOA, right? What about the HOA? What about, the cost? What about, and you methodically took me through that. We're going to do a little bit of that today, but when you sit down with Will, it's an education that is extremely helpful in understanding not just solar, but the energy efficiency opportunity altogether. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and what it does for your real estate value.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have, because it's so new, a tremendous amount of quantifiable data as to what it does to the real estate transaction, but for a certain segment of the market, primarily the millennials, this is one of their primary focuses. All right? So after the break, let's continue to learn about solar from Will Albaugh, the solar guy from Solar Energy Specialist of Sunpro Solar. He's going to share more of his knowledge with us to help us move forward. We're going to squeeze TJ at the break and get some info from him. And we're going to talk some more about real estate. I'm Paul Jamison, your host. We'll be right back. News Talk 1110, 99.3, and radio.com right here in WBT. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show, Your Real Estate Today. Paul Jamison, your host here with the Jamison family of companies. That's Realty, Property Management, and Property Investment. Here with Will Albaugh, the solar guy with Sunpro Solar. We're talking about your home. In the next segment, we'll get back to getting ready for your home to sell, but we want to continue our subject around solar right now. So at the break, as I said, I put the squeeze on TJ. In a fun kind of way, about his home, just looking to say, he says, I don't have any energy efficient features in my home. So I asked him several questions around some of the features in his home. So, TJ.
Yes, sir.
You did find out that you're energy efficient.
Yeah, surprisingly, a little more efficient than I thought I was.
Yeah. So how did we come up with the fact that you had some energy efficiency? What did we identify?
My toilet didn't help me.
No,
it's a hand-me-down toilet, but I do have some big windows in the front of my house that let a lot of light in, so we don't have to use that.
You don't have to use lights as much,
right?
Right, saves energy.
LED and smart bulbs, also help. Yeah,
they do, and. There's a tremendous amount of energy statistics around the LED as compared to incandescent. They're 90% more efficient. That's a big number. So I think that's an amazing cost savings. Over a period of time.
For sure.
Things like windows, even plants that don't require a lot of water. That's considered an efficiency of such because you're not using and consuming resources.
Luckily, my yard is like a sponge, too. It just holds water.
It does. So you could drill a hole and drink for a week.
Right.
There we go. We like it. So in looking at energy and looking at energy in your home, we're certainly talking to Will about solar. But be aware, there are a lot of features that people have in their homes that they don't know they have that have a level of energy efficiency. So as a realtor, I'm now asking those questions, which I learned in that silly designation that took me forever and lost more hair over. Thank you, Will Albaugh. To really, it's going to help me. And it's going to help me market homes better and be able to prove efficiency. So, Will, going back to our question before, tell me what Duke Power's position is on solar panels. We were talking at the break about power and what happens once the batteries are full and the system is overflowing like a glass of water, like you explained. Can you explain that to the folks out there?
Sure. I'll tell you that about every single utility company is very, very pro-solar. And the reason they are, it's real simple. It's economics. Our electric grid is running at capacity or real near capacity all the time, especially in summer in the South. So if Duke can encourage more people to go solar, that'll stave off. That's like a hedge for them where they can wait longer and longer and longer in order to build billion-dollar electric plants in order to take on that extra capacity.
Right.
So they're of the 5 permits that we have to get when someone goes solar, the electric company, including Duke, is the fastest one that gets approved.
Wow.
So they are very, very pro-solar. I mean, you can even call them up and say, hey, do you think it's a good idea I'll go solar? They'll go, yes, please do.
Yeah. Wow.
So now, the way solar works is that They put a special meter on the outside of your home that goes forwards and backwards. It's really cool to watch it go backwards.
Yeah.
During the day, you will produce more energy than you really need to use, so you can sell it back to Duke Energy. So when the sun goes down, then you can get energy from Duke Energy, and they apply those credits that you built back up, so that your net effect is, hopefully, by the end of the year, you've had little to no electric bill.
Right.
Now,
Right.
there's only one caveat to this. If something comes along like a storm and it takes out the grid, Duke Energy down, because here a couple of weeks ago we had 200,000 customers without electricity after a windstorm. It's mandatory that your solar has to be turned off. So they put an automatic switch on it so your solar system turns off, so that you don't backfeed into the grid electricity and kill a lineman who's trying to fix the pole.
Oh,
So
that makes sense.
This is what's been holding solar back for 40 years. Because most people, when they think solar, they're like, hey, yes, I want to save money, but yes, I want energy independence. I want security that if something happens to our electric grid, I want to know that I have electricity. Well, enter batteries. 3 years ago, and this is what got me into this, Elon Musk showed this small little box about the size of a suitcase called the Tesla Powerwall.
Okay.
And a Tesla Powerwall was 1/12 the cost of what batteries for solar was 10 years ago. And about 1/20th the size. It just bolts onto the side of your garage, making you your own electric company. So when you produce more energy at night, during the day, you're filling your battery up. And when the sun goes down, your battery's running your whole home. And if you make more electricity than your battery can hold, like pouring a glass of water, you're pouring water into a glass, it spills over to Duke Energy. But here's the beautiful part, and this is why we sell we're the number one distributor of Tesla Powerwalls in the country. If the power grid goes down, guess what? The Powerwall is smart enough to disconnect itself from Duke Energy and allow you to operate yourself and have electricity while that grid is down.
Oh.
And when you're talking,
because I'm sitting here thinking, what's the benefit when the power's off? Because I'm going to be stuck like everybody else. But
right,
you know what I mean?
I just solved that for you.
You did.
Yeah, and so when you look at, you've got the 26% tax credit. The money you would have spent on electricity anyway, you subtract that from that over time. And then how much your property value goes up when you put solar on your roof. 10 years ago, it took 15 to 16 years to get an ROI on putting solar on your roof. Today, less than 3 years ROI. Less than 3 years.
ROI means return on investment. Yeah.
Yeah. You're cash flow positive after 3 years of putting solar on your roof. And then, of course, if you do, and this is where our relationship goes in, if you do that, then, boy, you need to make sure that you get the right realtor, that you get the right appraiser, because you can unlock a lot of value out of your home if you got the right people on your team.
Right. Yeah, there's even mortgage companies. There's called EEMs, energy efficient mortgages, that you can get in order to, if you have an energy efficient home, there are special lenders out there for that as well. I didn't know that either until I took the test.
It's one of the best kept secret, and they're predicting that more solar will be sold in the next 3 years than the previous 40 years combined, all because of three things: batteries, and the real estate industry is taking notice, like yourself, the National Association of Realtors Green certificate that you just got. And then appraisers now. There is such thing as a green appraiser.
Yeah, there's not many of them. There's a directory that I have now that I have access to get those green appraisers. I mean, and green lenders.
I'm sorry. And you alluded to this earlier. Who's coming into the workforce? The millennials now.
That's right.
And people that were born and raised in this stuff, they're the ones buying houses. They're building families. They're buying houses now. So yeah, we've never been busier because this is such a no-brainer to do.
So if people want to talk to you about this, Will, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, two ways. They can call your office, 846-DONE.
Right.
Because we have a good partnership.
Call me.
Or I've got the world's easiest email address.
Okay.
It's will at willthesolarguy.com.
Will at willthesolarguy.com. That's pretty easy. All right. Well, that's good information. We're going to keep going. The show, Your Real Estate Today. Paul Jamison here, your host with the Jamison family of companies. Glad you're with us, Will, and enjoying having you here. Stay with us. The show, Your Real Estate Today, here on News Talk 1110, 99.3, radio.com, and WBT. Stay right with us. We'll be right back. Here we are. We're back to Show Your Real Estate Today. Final segment. Doggone it, it goes by too fast. Every week I say the same thing, but I am excited that we're together on this Saturday. Thank you for enjoying us. Enjoying us? Is that a new word? We thank you for enjoying us. That means we enjoy you, you enjoy us, and we're doing it together. Yay! So anyway, thank you for that. I'm here with Will Albaugh, with the solar energy specialist with Sunpro Solar. Thank you, Will, for being with us.
You're welcome. Yeah.
At the beginning segment, I was telling you, if you're a seller, here's some steps I want you to take. So we said, call me first. And of course, the Jamison family of companies, Realty, Property Management, and Investment. Get some outdoor flowers, get a pre-inspection, sweat the small stuff. Get the marketing ready, the video tours, photos, measurements, etc. Set a date. Get the buyer's marketing ready. Huh? Isn't all marketing for the buyers? Well, yes. But I developed something called a good to know. One of the things it is your opportunity to say 10 to 12 things to a buyer that walked through the house. Why'd you buy it? What are the benefits of the house? What are the energy efficiency features, if they're worth talking about, and marketing? All right? And the things that are important to the segment of the market that they are interested in. If you're in a heavily familied neighborhood, talk about the amenities around. Talk about the distance to the schools. Talk about things that they care about. All right? Promoting the listing in reverse prospecting. That's once it's listed, I can see what agents have people in those searches. Follow up on the feedback and be patient. You know, it's interesting, and I've had this conversation with you folks before. In a time where I see a change of more people working from home, home offices, home flexibility, and home flex space for a home office are going to be more and more critical. Make sure you talk about that. Room away from other bedrooms, which is an opportunity for an office. Strong fiber internet in the area for a great signal. And, only a stone's throw away from Office Depot when the toner cartridge quits. Now, I'm being facetious and kind of funny, but you get my point. Home office will be a part of one of the features that becomes more and more prevalent in the future. So know that it's an essential thing to market. Do you notice I use the word essential? An essential thing to market that as a part of a great benefit and feature to a home. Okay? All right. So I want to remind you right now why it's good to put your home on the market. There's still less competition. And the buyers that are out there are serious. The ones that are looking are serious. And everybody's looking. They got a computer, and there's a reason for them to look. You're going to get more eyeballs right now, I think, than any other time. All right? I think a lot of New Yorkers, and I said this last week too, New Yorkers, Californians, Bostonians are going to migrate here since they're going to be asked to work from home. They're going to want to leave where they are with that California, not lousy weather, but high taxes, high cost of living. They're going to come to the Carolinas, and we can't stop them. So we might as well open our doors to them and let them pay a nice price for our houses. Okay? All right. Buyers. What should you be prepared for? Lock your rate. Holy smokes. Come on. It's awesome. Call Sandy at Summit Funding, 704-577-0144. Lock your rate. There's less buyers right now. As I said earlier, there's a lot of people looking. But if you're ready to pull the trigger, don't make stupid offers. This is not a buyer's market at this point. Statistics even show that because of lack of inventory. But go out there and you're going to have less competition. You're going to be in less multiple offer situation. For buyers, if you got a house to sell, get your house ready. Get ready to make the transaction more seamless. Get your finances in order. If you're buying and making offers, a quick closing is appealing. And understand the process may be a little different, may have some virtual aspects to it that you're going to be involved in closing. The realtor doesn't get to come right now. Hopefully that will change. It's a real bummer. I like celebrating that moment with people. So make sure that's a part of your formula. So why is it a good time to buy right now? Rates. Values are still rising, so don't put it off too long. Rents are still rising. Real estate is stable in a pandemic, so looking at investment real estate is a great time to do that. Investment real estate is a balanced way to protect your investments. You guys saw what happened to the stock market. Guess what? I was talking today to someone about one of the advantages of real estate is the triple dip. If you've read my book, Opportunity is Knocking, which you can buy at Amazon or at pauljamison.com. The triple dip means tax benefits, appreciation, and income. So tax benefit, appreciation, and income. All those things come with an investment property. And you know what? I've said this and I'm going to keep saying it because I believe it. Charlotte, our community is on the move. Despite many that want to push it down, they're not going to keep us down. We have a fabulous community and people want to live here. The quality of life is good and no political group, no naysayer, and no tweeter is going to make our community be worth or have any less. All right. Another thing about investment real estate, probably should call it the quadruple dip, because the one thing that I've added to my dip is the ability to have control. So Will, if you go out and you buy General Electric stock, you buy 100 shares at $6.75 a share, and you call up the chairman of General Electric and say, you know something, I really don't like what you did right there. How much influence do you have?
It's got to be in a negative something. Not even zero. -1.
Yeah. If you buy a piece of investment real estate, Will, how much influence do you have?
All of it.
Exactly. All of it. And that investment piece of real estate will never be worth zero.
Right.
It's always worth something. All right.
You're right.
Choked on my own spit there. Does that ever happen to you?
Yes.
I got all excited. I was jumping up and down on the counter. All right. So, Will, just to wrap things up, let me ask you.
Sure.
If you're looking at solar and you're sitting down and you can say one thing, which I know it's hard to do, about solar that you get asked the most, what is that question?
Oh, goodness. What I get asked the most? Usually, how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, right.
And my answer is
zero.
Nothing.
Yeah. Zero?
It depends on what. Well, I sit with people and I say there's 3 reasons people don't go solar. Yeah. So I'll help you out this way. 3 reasons they don't go solar.
All right.
1, their house doesn't qualify.
Right.
Got too many trees, don't want to come down.
Right.
Second is the homeowner doesn't qualify. You do have to carry this as a loan or
Right.
pay cash, either one. And third, and this is the real estate tie, is the customer is planning on selling their home in the next 1 to 3 years.
Right.
Okay, that's when I say, okay, you probably shouldn't go solar right now.
Okay. Well, those are 3 good reasons. And again, how do they get you? What's your email?
It's Will at Will the Solar Guy.
All right. Thanks for being with me, bud. Good to see you again. And I'm Paul Jamison. You can always get me at 846-DONE, 846-3663, or on the web at myjamisonhomes.com, or pick up my book at pauljamison.com or at Amazon Prime. God bless. Thanks for being with us on the Show Your Real Estate today. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.